Hello Flosstube, this is Rose, and you have reached Untwist Your Stitches, a Flosstube channel about cross-stitching and other crafting endeavors. Welcome! I'm glad to have you back. If you are a returning viewer, and if you're new, welcome. I'm very happy that you chose to watch my channel and see what I'm all about. I know at this time of the year, there are so many floss tubes out there to watch. There are end of the year whip parades. There's plans for 2025. There's so much stuff going on. And for you to have come to my channel to see what's going on here, I really appreciate that. If you could hit the like button, and if you find something after you've watched me that you enjoy, you could hit the subscribe button. Both things would be really exciting for me. This is a regular floss tube. I've done a couple of specials in the last few weeks. I did a tour of my craft room. And then I did a tour of my house and showed you my previous cross-stitch finishes that I used to decorate for Christmas. So this one's all about my FFOs, fully finished objects, my FOs, which I don't believe I have any this year, or this month, and my whips, works in progress. So having said all that, let's get started. Sometimes I ask a question and sometimes I tell a story to begin my floss tube. Well, this time we're going with the story. Today is December 12th, 2024. Saturday, when I woke up, I went to turn on my heater. Now I live in central Idaho So, as you can imagine, December in Idaho gets a little chilly. So I turned the heater on Saturday morning. Nothing. No heat. The motor would run, but no heat and no fan. So I did a little bit of troubleshooting. Got the owner's manual out, went through the systems of why is it not doing this, why is it not doing that. Now, as I told you, I've only been here since June, so I don't know a whole lot about what's been going on in this house. We're learning on a daily basis. What does what's the best way to make things work? You know, there have been a couple of little hitches since I've been here, but nothing too terrible. Saturday, no heat. It was, I believe it was 34 degrees outside. A little bit warmer in the house, but not warm enough. So the price they would have charged for an after hours call out was a bit more than I was willing to pay this close to Christmas and the end of the year. So I had 2 electric heaters that I chose to use until Monday. They did get me on the schedule for Monday. They weren't sure exactly what time because, of course, this was something that was not planned or scheduled. So, you know, I can make it work. Well, it got a little cold Saturday night. It went to 28 degrees overnight. Again, the house was warmer. It is a very well insulated home. So I was very grateful for that, but my 2 little electric heaters, they didn't really, they were having a hard time getting it to a comfortable level. So the puppies and I sat on the couch. Speaking of puppies, just a minute. Guys, my dog was chewing on a bone right at my feet, and it was driving me crazy, and I wasn't sure if the noise was being picked up by my video microphone. So I put him in the other room, and so let's see. Cold day, Sunday. Threw the blankets on. Dog sat on my lap. We made it through. Monday, about 2 o'clock, I called and I said, I'm still on your schedule, right? Yes, still on the schedule. She should be done with her current job about 3 o'clock, and she should be to your house around 4. Okay, no problem. Except for the fact that one of my 2 electric heaters decided, that's it, I'm done, no more. So I had 1 electric heater, moved my chair a little closer, threw on another blanket, and we waited. I'm not sure what happened, but she didn't make it until about 5:30 that night. Things were getting pretty cold. And it's about 20 minutes drive to town in order to get to a store that would have had another electric heater. So it was getting close, and everything around here closes at 6 o'clock. It's a small town. We're not in a city that's going to be open until 9, 10 o'clock at night. That just doesn't happen. So I was getting a little edgy about getting to town, and she comes into the driveway. She had had kind of a rough day herself with some of the things that had gone on with her other job, her scheduled job. So we worked and worked, and finally she did get it to come back on. But there were parts that needed to be ordered, because even though it's running, it's not running at its optimum potential. So they did. They ordered the parts, and Monday they will be back out to install the new parts and get this thing operating at its best potential. Now, as long as I have enough heat so that I'm not freezing, I'm good. But yeah, it was a cold weekend, and I'm glad that she was able to come and get it going for me, and I didn't have to wait until Monday before I had real heat. So that is my little story about that. I'm going to insert a small segment. I had some items that I finished, fully finished, FFO'd, but they needed to go before I was ready for this video. A couple of them were Christmas presents, and then a couple of them were donations to a local group that raises money for the library in town. So because those things needed to go to their destination, I did a little bit of a mini. The first thing I'm going to show you is a little book that I made for my granddaughter. It came as, I guess you would call it a panel, a fabric panel, and then you put it together and it makes a book. So this is it. And it's a cloth book with been counting bumblebees. I think it's just really, really adorable. I mean, for a 3-year-old to learn their numbers in a fun way. And yeah, it came as a panel. You cut it out, you put padding in it, and then you sew it together and make it into this fun little book. Now this was just a decoration on the panel. There was no instructions for it or anything. You were just supposed to, you know, cut it off as it was a decoration in the area where they were giving you the instructions on how to put the book together. Well, I thought it was really sweet. So instead of just throwing it away, I made it into a cute little ornament for her. She can either hang it on the Christmas tree or she can carry it around with her book. That's the first thing. The next thing is I talked to you in my last video, I think it was my last video, about the Christmas bazaar that they're having locally, and I am donating some items for them to sell or auction off for the library fund. And these are some of the things that I made. This is one of my binders. It is an 8x5 binder. And inside of it are these tabs and these papers. And what I'm going to do is I made it in this so that it could be a recipe book. And one of the things I will do before I donate it is I will add one of my favorite recipes here to give them a start on making this into their cookbook. And these are a couple of little buttons and a 2024 charm and a pin to write their recipes on. And so that's one. And I made another one just like it. So again, these little buttons, the 2024 charm, and the pencil. And inside is exactly the same as the other one. The next thing, I showed you the finished dog on my last video. I added a 2024 charm, and then I was working on the companion towel. And I have, whoops, boy, I have finished it. So peppermint bark goes with the peppermint puppy. And that will be one set. The second set, last year, with Tiger Lily's 12 Days of Christmas box, I got a pattern with that box. And it was fa la 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 la. And so here's my 2024 charm. And this floss is DMC's Variations 4505. I'll have to look it up and put it in the descriptions, but it's one of the DMC Variations flosses. And I did the very same floss on the ornaments, and these ornaments were also part of that pattern that was in the Tiger Lily Advent or 12 Days box. Now what I did is on this one I stitched vertically. This one I stitched vertically. This one I stitched in as much of a round way as I could. And then this one I stitched horizontally. So that is why each one looks quite different, but also each one is a different pattern. So that makes a difference too. And it's not really showing the pattern very well on screen, but in real life you can see it more defined. So we have, whoops, let me do this better. We have the baubles and the fa la 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 set. And those will both be donated. And the final thing that I'm donating, well, I mean, there's a couple other things I'm donating, but that you haven't seen yet, is this little kitty. And what it is you put it on top of the pop-up Renews It freshener. It's got it's a cone, and then the top is her arms and her head, and you put it on top of the Renews It, and she sits and is a little decoration to go with your air freshener. So those are the things that are going to be sent away. I did finish the stocking for my friend, but I have already packaged that up and it's ready to be sent to it's ready to be sent through the post office. So I'm just going to have to add some pictures of how I finished those. And okay, welcome back. And I have a few more fully finishes, FFOs. You will remember that I had done Erin Elizabeth's American flag, and I had showed you when I finished it, but I hadn't fully finished it yet because I wasn't exactly sure how I was going to do it. Well, I finally have come up with how I wanted it. And it is, there you go. So this is fabric that I have in my stash, some of which is behind me. I also had the rickrack and these rose ribbon flowers in my finishing embellishments. I have the little tassel as if it's I've seen, you've seen flags that have these tassels at the top of the stand that they're on. I thought this looked really cute with that. And then my 2024 charm that I added. So this will set on this frame stand on the shelf in the area that I am going to have my patriotic wall. And that's how that is. And I really like how that came out. That was a good one. The next one I have is a Mill Hill kit that I had been working on for a while. Not sure why this took me so long. I do know that I changed it from it came with a green linen. I didn't want to do it on that linen. I wanted to do it on black perforated paper just so these colors would really stand out. But it took me a lot longer than it should have, and I'm not sure why. Now, for a person who is not big on beading, I do a lot of Mill Hill kits. And of course, if you've ever done one, you will know there's lots of beads in those Mill Hill kits. So I'm not sure why I like these, but they're very fun. And this is how I finished it off. Of course, I have rickrack. I have some silk flowers. I put it on this. This was a little stand that I got on sale for $1.50 at either Michael's or Hobby Lobby. Back when I was just going through the store and I checked out their clearance section and they had a few of these, so I bought them. I mean, for $1.50, you can't go wrong. And it worked out wonderfully for this particular finish that I wanted to do. So that is my Mill Hill. It's called Mill Hill Hummingbird. I'm not sure why I like this. This isn't normally the kind of thing that catches my eye, but it just did. I don't know if it was because the brightness of the colors. I do like hummingbirds. I have a hummingbird feeder that I keep stocked every year, especially in the summertime. Of course, you know, in the wintertime, we don't get many hummingbirds up here, but in the summertime we have a good amount. So maybe that was it. I don't know, but this is not my normal everyday thing that I would do, but it just caught my eye and I couldn't resist it. So I'm happy that it's done. I love the way it came out, and it'll be put out on the shelves this spring through summer. So that is all of my FFOs, fully finished objects. I have no FOs, and so we will head right into whips. The first one, I'm a little annoyed with myself. This is the Historical Samplers Christmas Mystery Sal. It came out in 4 different sections. I don't know what I was thinking when I started this. It's very annoying, and I'm far enough in that there's no way I'm going to rip it out and change it, but I started it the wrong direction. The top should have been here instead of here. So I'm having to adjust the boxes in order to get them all in. Now, I love the stitch. It is awesome. These are not the colors that they called for. These are the colors I chose to do because I like to decorate with blue and silver. So I chose almost all of my own colors. White was not showing up on here like it should have, so my white is ecru with, in a lot of these, it has a Kreinik blending filament 032. These 2 little robins in the middle, this one with the red breast was the original color that the pattern called for. And then I just changed it a little bit for the other side. And the deer are in the proper color. Everything else is my conversion. And it's been a fun stitch. It just, when I finally figured out what was happening and that it wasn't going to completely fit on here as it was charted, I got irritated and I set it aside. However, I am going to start working on it tonight and try to get it done this year because I would really like to have it finished, even though I am quite annoyed that I wasn't paying attention. I mean, why? Why did I do that? It's just one of those things, and I'm going to have to just be happy with it. So I'm rearranging some of the motifs on here, and I'll do my best to get that finished by the end of this week, hopefully. The next thing I worked on, now I worked on the finishes that I showed you in my little prequel, or my little separate segment. The 2 sets of towels, the 2 sets, or the fabrics softener decoration, and the book for my granddaughter. All of that stuff was done between November 8th and November 16th. And that was the last time I worked on my Christmas sampler. So I want to get it back out and get it going and finish it. November 17th through the 23rd, it was time for my sheep virtues to come out. I am doing them in 2 lines. And so far, this is where I've gotten to. I started with this centerpiece. It was done before this latest, but the 2 pieces that I finished in the week of November 17th to the 23rd was Patience and Faith. And I'm using all of the colors that are called for. This is a Little House Needleworks. There are, I believe, 12 sheep virtues. Pretty sure there's 12. I'll double check and put it in my show notes. It is done on 16 count French lace. It was a fabric that was given to me by a friend. Her mom had worked with Ada. She only uses the higher counts of linen because that's what she enjoys stitching on. But she knew that I was an Ada stitcher, so this is one of the fabrics that she gave me. But all of my colors are as they are called for on each little pamphlet. So that's that. And I am keeping it in I haven't showed you my project bags for a while. This one is one that I had stitched, probably 5 years ago, and put it together as a bag. I can't remember what the design name was for this, but again, I will look that information up and put it in the show notes for you if you're interested in that pattern, because it was really fun and it worked up really quick. So if you're a fan of Mary Poppins, I will add that to the show notes. Zipper. The next thing I have to show you is a new start, and this new start was the week of November 24th to the 30th, and it's one that I have been wanting to stitch ever since I saw it last year. It took me forever to figure out where the pattern was, and what I didn't realize is it was in a book and it wasn't an individual pattern. So when I was looking for it, it wasn't making sense to me why I couldn't find it. It is in Home for the Holidays book. It is a Blackbird design, and it's called 'Tis the Season. I love cardinals. If you watched my Christmas special that I did about a week ago or 10 days ago, whenever it was, you'll notice that I have quite a few cardinals that I decorate with at Christmas. I also have cardinals that I decorate with in the spring and summer. So they're just a bird that I think is beautiful. And this design really, when I saw it, I couldn't resist it. And so far, this is where I've gotten to. The fabric is 18 count gosling, and it is a Mystic Fibers hand dye. And the fabric, or the floss that I'm using is my own conversion. I like to brighten things up sometimes when I think they're not quite as vibrant as I would like. So the red is Forbidden Fiber Co's Poinsettia. The darker green is Forbidden Fiber Co's Christmas Ivy. The gold here and in his nose is Classic Color Work, or Classic Colors Queen Bee. The white is Classic Color Antique Lace. The other green, this green here and here and here and here, that is Weeks Dye Works Green Apple. And the brown is 371. I didn't have a brown in a overdyed floss that I really cared for, so I just used the option that they gave you for the DMC color. But I'm saving the bird until, for as long as I can, because that's going to be the fun part. That's the dessert in this piece. And I don't want to get all of the dessert done and then not want to finish my vegetables. So I'm doing as much as I can of the other colors. And then this is going to say 'Tis the Season. And I'm not liking how it's not standing out. So I'm contemplating maybe doing this in the red. I'm gonna have to get the bird in first to see if I want that much more red, or if I want to choose a green or a different red to put 'Tis the Season in. But it's just not standing out enough in the white that it's that it calls for on the pattern. So I stopped with the words, and I'm gonna change that when I finally figure out what color I'm gonna do it in. But that's as far as I've gotten, and it was really fun. I didn't get to work on it as much as I would have liked to, because at the time that this was out for its week, my daughter and grandson were up for Thanksgiving, and of course I'm not gonna be stitching when my grandson is around. He needs grandma's attention. And this is the project bag, another one that I've made for myself. And my little tags, I've showed you that in an extra that I do, that I mark what is in the bag. I'm always going to have a bird pattern on the go. So birds is done in marker, and then the whatever whatever pattern happens to go in here will be written in pencil. So that was my Thanksgiving week stitching. And then the first week of December was when I finished off my Hummingbird design. So that was December 1st through the 6th. And then this week was the last month's stitching for my 60th birthday year. The hashtag for that particular SAL is hashtag SAL 60 is just a number. I have done it every month from the 7th to the 10th because my birthday is July 10th. And every month I worked on, for those 4 days, a patriotic piece. I have finished 3, which I'm really excited about. I was so happy I got 3 of the 4 that I had chosen for this year. And so this month, I got to start my last patriotic piece. Now, I am going to do, at the end of December, I'm going to do another extra. I'm going to show you all of my finishes for 2024. And then I'm going to tell you about my plans for 2025. So I'll tell you at that time what's going to happen with this particular piece. But it is One Nation, designed by Bygone Stitches. And these 4 days, I was able to get that much done. I'm so excited that I was able to do so much. I almost have all of the blue finished. The only blue I don't have is the 4 stitches that will go in the center of each one of these white motifs. I don't know. Yeah, you can see it. You do the white motif and then there's 4 blue stitches in the center. But other than that, all of the blue is done. And I love it. It goes super fast. Once you get into a rhythm, you don't need your pattern. At least for this section, you won't. Now, of course, when you start doing the names of the states, you'll, of course, need to have your pattern out. But for this section, once you got into a rhythm, you didn't need the pattern at all. You could just go. And I don't normally do this. This isn't my normal thing, but I was curious as to how many stitches I had done. And in 1 week, getting that much completed, there were 2,734 stitches. This is the bag that One Nation lives in. And it will go into the rotation. In my little insert, I mentioned the fact that I had shipped the stockings that I had made for my friend, that I had finished for her. And that's the issue I'm having with the post office. On December 2nd, I put it in one of those flat rate priority boxes and shipped it down to her in California. It left here on the 2nd. It still has not made it to her. It got to the closest facility, the closest postal facility and got stuck there for 4 days. When it started moving again, we thought it was going to go directly to her. It didn't. It went 200 miles to the east, and now it's gone another 200 miles north to another facility, and it's been there for 2 days. So we do not know at all what the Postal Service is doing with this box that I've sent her, but it's very, very frustrating. And my local lady said that when she talked to customer support, they were very rude and said, don't worry about it. It's being processed. It's not lost. Just you need to wait for it to go through the system. Okay, well, I paid for 2-day priority delivery, and it's now 10 days later, and it's still not there. Thank you, Post Office. I'm so glad that you're worried about being efficient. All right, I'll get off my soapbox. Sorry. Okay, the colors that I am using on that, the fabric is a fabric that I dyed myself. It was an ecru 16 count, and I tea-dyed it. The blue that I'm using is Gentle Arts Presidential. The white that I'm using is Gentle Arts Oatmeal. And I haven't gotten to the red yet, but the red that I will be using is Weeks Dye Work Turkish Red. And I'm super excited about getting going on those states because it's just going to be fun. And like I said, it's a quick stitch. I'm really excited about how fast it's going. And I can't wait to get it finished. So that is where I am at with that. And having said that, that is my last whip. I wanted to wait and do this video until I had finished stitching on that because I wanted to show you where I was at with my Sal. And I am going to do a finish parade. I'll show you all of the things that I have gotten finished this year. And then I will give you a kind of an overview. It's just a generalization. It's not a set in stone thing. I don't set any goals in stone because I know as the year goes along, things are going to be changing. I'll need something as a gift. I'll want to start something else. So this is just a general overview of what I would like to do and how I would like to proceed for 2025. However, for the rest of December, the two things that I want to do is finish off that historical sampler mystery Sal, mystery Christmas Sal. I want to get that done. Just because it's annoying me, and if I don't get back to it right now, I'm afraid I'm going to not finish it, and that would really bug me. And I really do. I love that. I love it. It's just so annoying that I started it the wrong way. And the other thing I want to get going on is I have not worked on my Heaven and Earth snowman for a while, and I want to give it a good chunk of time. So those are the two things, and being that it's winter and it's Christmas and all that, it'll be fun to work on my snowman for until the end of the year. Now, I don't think I'll work on it for 3 whole weeks. Pretty sure I'm not going to do that. That would not be fun for me. But I want to give it a good chunk of time and really get some progress on that. So the next thing I have to show you is I only have a couple of things. I got some patterns and I got some fabric. The reason I got some of these patterns is, you know how they all say, if you're going to buy something, it can't travel alone. So I've been wanting, oh, that's not good. That's not going to show up good at all. I've been wanting this pattern because I have those little sleds. And I love these birds. They're so cute. So I wanted that. Well, it had been on back order for forever. And I had it in my wish list for 123 Stitch. And I had it on the contact me when it's back in stock. So about 2 weeks ago, I believe, it came back in stock. And I wanted it. There's another one. This one. Moonlight Pumpkin Carving by Lola Crow. Is that who it's by? Yeah, Lola Crow crossstitch.com. This is another one that was on back order. I want it for my grandson. He is obsessed with Halloween spooky stuff. And I just thought this was so cute because he likes the skeletons and all of the spooky things. So I'm going to do this one for my grandson this year and send it to him so he has a decoration at Halloween time. And that was another one where I had it notify me when it's back in stock. And it came back in. Then for July, both my husband and myself have July birthdays. So I wanted to get this pattern by Cross-Eyed Cricket for July. And then my daughter is an October baby. And this year I have finished autumn for her. So I want to also do October for her. And so those two came with my order. I don't remember why I wanted this fabric. I know there was a specific pattern that I wanted to do on this color fabric, but I forget what it was. This is, picture this plus Belfast linen 32 count, and the color is Dwarf. Isn't that pretty? I love it. I have stitched, well, you saw my historical sampler design on this. So I got another piece because it was so fun to stitch on. It's petite point gray with white mini dots. Now this one has the mini dots. The historical sampler has the regular dots. But it's a 32 count also. I got some in brown. I love the polka dots when I'm doing some of these projects. They stand out. I've got a pigeon coop design. There is a cardinal and a swan. And I think they both would look really cool on this or the gray. I'm not sure which one. I'm going to have to do a floss toss to see how the colors look. But I think both of those would look really cool on that. I got this color when I was looking at the Dwarf. And it caught my eye. I just thought it was very pretty. It is, picture this, plus 16 count, and the color is called Coastal. And it's a real pretty tealy It's coming across more blue on screen. It's a little bit more green in real life, but it's another beautiful blue fabric. And that's all my purchases this time. I have cut back on purchasing. I've done a lot of purchasing this year. Got a lot of things I want to work up, and I just don't think I need any more. I've spent enough money this year, let's just say. Now it's time to stitch, stitch, stitch. As I was saying, there have been a load of floss tubes this month. End of the year whip parades, end of the year finish parades, planning videos. There have been daily Advent openings, and they've all been super fun. But they're a little overwhelming. I don't have time to look at each one, and it's sad because I really enjoy my Flosstube friends and watching them and seeing what they've been doing, but there's just only so much time in the day. I was decorating. I had my granddaughter, or my daughter and grandson for a week. There's too much going on right now, and I'm not able to watch as much as I would like to, but there's a few I want to mention so that you can go and see them if you're interested. Kylie from Rose Crafty Corner has been doing a daily Advent calendar opening, and it's been really fun to watch. It's really short. Most of them are less, or right around 2 or 3 minutes at the very most. So those are really quick, and you can get through them without too much time spent. They also last night had a retreat recap that Ro had gone to. Kylie wasn't able to go with her, but they did a recap of the retreat, and it was really fun to watch. Karen, the Stitching Owl from Canada. Kylie and Ro are from Australia. Karen, the Stitching Owl, has been doing a daily Advent opening. Hers are a little bit longer, but not too much. So they're easy to get through and see what she's opening and what she's doing. Carrie from Tiger Lily Designs, she has her Stitchmas box that she does every year. I'm not sure how many years. I know I got it last year, but I chose not to get it this year. It comes with one of her, what'd she call them? Project portfolios, or I think that's what she calls them. Anyway, she does a really great job of putting them together. Now, hers is not an Advent calendar. Hers is only 12 days, but it's still really fun to watch. And Anne from Toby Knits, she's another lady from Canada, but she's not Canadian, she's English, and she moved to Canada. I don't remember how many years ago she said, but she's been really fun to watch, and she's doing an Advent opening. She's got 3 Advents, but she only opens 2 per day because 2 of them are an every other day opening. Another one I wanted to mention is Laura from Stitching by the Shore. She did a quick little video about her winter ATC swap. Now, ATC is Artist Trading Cards, and I participated in the fall one, and I wanted to show you. I got my cards This is one, and this is the other. Now they're 2 by 3 inch size. You know, it's just like a regular trading card, only you stitch it, put it on in whatever way you want to decorate it up, and then you send it to Laura. She does a video where she shows everything that everybody has stitched, and then she chooses names and sends them out to the recipients. I did 2 for the fall one because they were really fun. And the fall theme was things with wings. And as you can see, there was a wide variety of options. There were birds, there were angels, there were airplanes, there were, I can't remember. There were, you know, spiders, or not spiders, but flies, ladybugs. I think there was there a witch? No, there were a couple of bats. Anyway, there were a lot of options. This winter ATC Swaps theme is where you live. So if you're interested in joining in on the ATC Swap, go over to Laura at Stitching by the Shore and watch her. I think it's her latest video. I think it'll be the one at the very top of her video list. And she explains exactly what the ATC Swap is, what the deadlines are, what you can expect. And I think she even gives you a couple of options of things that she shows you. So I wanted to show you my cards so you had an idea. Of course, stitching, cross stitch the globe. Those girls, they put out so much content. They're on at least once a week, and not always about their whips. They give you information. They give you how to get started, things like that. They give you ideas for free patterns that you can get if you just are, you know, on a tight budget, or if you're just starting and you're not sure that you really want to get too far into the purchases. They give you ideas about fabric, thread, all sorts of things. And then they also show you their own stitching. And they're really fun to watch. Sisters, Stephanie and Allison. And I highly suggest them, especially if you're new to cross stitch. They give you some really good information. That's all I have for you today. I hope you have enjoyed your time with me. I hope you will come back and join me again. And Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, enjoy your time with your family, or if you're not going to be able to be with your family, enjoy your stitching time. And we will see you again soon. Have a nice end of the year. Thank you. Bye.